And with us on the program right now, Chuck Michelle, California attorney. Chuck, how you doing, sir?
Kim, hanging in there?
Yeah, it's good talking to you. We've got a new lawsuit supported by the NRA, filed by the San Francisco Veteran Police Officers Association, taking on that city's 10-round magazine ban. And you're the guy here, Chuck, right?
You know, San Francisco never met a gun control law they didn't like, and we just trying to give back as much as we can to protect the rights of the people who live and travel through San Francisco. Their new ordinance would ban the possession of magazines that hold 10 rounds in that city, so that could put lots of people in make a lot of people accidental criminals.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about the plaintiffs, the San Francisco Veteran Police Officers Association. These are retired law enforcement officers, right?
Right, which the ordinance makes no exception for. So all these guys have to get rid of their magazines too.
Okay. And I remember a few years ago when San Francisco had their Prop H, their handgun ban, this same organization of retired law enforcement officers came out very strongly opposed to that ban on handguns in San Francisco. It doesn't surprise me. I'm pleased to see that they are opposed to this magazine ban as well. And as I understand it, Chuck, this is a Second Amendment challenge here, right?
This is a straight-up Second Amendment challenge. We're working with the National Shooting Sports Foundation. They may bring challenges to other portions of San Francisco or soon-to-come Sunnyvale's gun ban laws. But this litigation just challenges San Francisco's ban on the possession of magazines that hold over 10 rounds within the city of San Francisco. We believe those magazines are in common use by law-abiding citizens for lawful purposes. That's exactly what the Supreme Court said was protected by the Second Amendment in the Heller case. So we are going to push this back, hopefully, to the Supreme Court if we have to protect the rights of folks to have these guns for sporting purposes, for self-defense, for hunting, for target shooting, for all the lawful purposes that they own them for and have owned them for I mean, these magazines that hold over 10 rounds have been around for a couple hundred years.
Right.
So we look forward to getting this issue resolved once and for all. But it's really nice to have the police officer groups. Unfortunately, a lot of the active groups, specifically San Francisco PD, they have to be cautious about getting involved because they'll pay a political price. Some groups, some law enforcement agencies and associations and sheriffs across the country have gotten involved with us in Colorado and New York and Connecticut. But in San Francisco, the retired cops are a great asset to us, and they have the courage because they don't have the same political arm twisting that the active guys can be subjected to. They have the courage to stand up for their rights along with the NRA.
Absolutely. Now, you know, the Blaze has a story today as well, Chuck, about a recent uptick in concealed carry permits in California. You know, when you talk about magazines that can hold more than 10 rounds being in common use around the country, including for millions of Americans who own firearms for self-defense, you're absolutely right about that. But there's a growing number of Californians who are concealed carry holders who may want magazines that can hold more than 10 rounds. You know, look, Mayor Bloomberg, to the best of my understanding, according to published reports, Chuck, is going to be leaving office. He's taking some 17 New York Police Department officers with him. He's putting them on the payroll as his bodyguards. If every one of those bodyguards had a bullet, then Mayor Bloomberg would still have 17 rounds of ammunition to protect himself. Why on earth are Californians told that they can have no more than 10?
Yeah, I mean, there's no good policy reason. It's the same old tripe, you know. Nobody needs more than 10, which is baloney. I mean, the average accuracy of most police shootings is about 20%. I think L.A. is about the highest with close to 50. So the reality is people miss a lot, and not only do they miss a lot, but we all remember the story just months ago of the woman who was chased into the attic with her daughter after somebody broke into her house, and he shot him 5 times, and he still drove away. It's just not, you know, in the panic that everybody operates under, the adrenaline surge that you operate under when you're trying to defend yourself. every single one of those rounds is a little lifesaver that could make the difference between staying alive and not staying alive.
Absolutely. And, it's interesting. I mean, while you're seeing some of these counties now issue concealed carry permits for those who want to exercise their right of self-defense, there are other counties where that's still not taking place. As a matter of fact, the Blaze points out San Francisco has not issued a concealed carry permit in several years, Chuck, according to KPIX. Marin County has 9 concealed carry holders. 9. That's it.
Right. I mean, the whole system here in California, as it is in other states where you need to establish a special need to get a permit, is in many cases corrupt, at least biased, because individual police chiefs or sheriffs can decide for themselves what constitutes good cause and thereby establishes some kind of a special need to get a CCW. Thankfully, in rural areas especially, the sheriffs and police chiefs are coming around to the fact that that issuing people these permits doesn't create problems. It's not the Wild West scenarios that people mischaracterized, and after 40 states have gone shall issue, that's been, that argument has been proven to be false. So I think there's a change in attitude, at least in the rural areas in California, and there's been some changes in law, and there's been some efforts to look pretty closely at what these guys are doing. And I've reached out, this office has reached out on behalf of NRA and CRPA to a number of sheriffs, offered to help them write their policies and comply with the law. And so I think there's a complicated mix of reasons that it's getting a little more easy to get a CCW in some parts of the state. Mm-hmm. But it is a good trend that that's happening. But we're never San Francisco or Los Angeles unless we get a ruling from the court that says you can't ransom someone's Second Amendment rights by requiring them to have some kind of a special need. The Second Amendment should be all the need that anybody has to demonstrate.
Absolutely. To that end, Chuck, where is the Peruta case right now? That's still hanging around the Ninth Circuit, right?
Yeah, it's still under submission in the Ninth Circuit. We just got the interesting developments in the Ninth Circuit in the last couple of days. We just got the first case out of the Ninth Circuit that actually establishes what standard of review the Ninth Circuit is going to adopt. You may need to have me back on to get into the details of this, but remember the Nordyke case talked about an undue burden test. Other courts in other states have adopted a scrutiny test, and in most cases went with intermediate scrutiny. That's problematic because it enables the judge to impose his or her own values into the equation, and that's what the Ninth Circuit has adopted. Now, whether they put a little more teeth into it than some other courts of appeals have remains to be seen, and will probably be seen first and foremost in the Peruta case, because that case now will, I'm sure, adopt the intermediate scrutiny test that the case that came down yesterday did. So we'll at least have to see now how they apply it.
All right.
But it could come down any day.
Any day. All right. Well, listen, Chuck, I appreciate you coming on the program. When it does come down, we'll be giving you a call to have you back on.
Great.